hiding.
What I've got to
Jack.
say,
What?
You're hiding.
and I'll tell you at the
No,
end
it's good.
why I feel like I have to do this. This has nothing to do with stock market or anything else. Only the future of this whole world. It has to deal with 4 prayers that we use in the Catholic Church. I have been very fortunate for the past year. I wake up in the morning and this stuff is set in my head like it's been there forever. Again, I didn't even think about it before that. Boils down to the fact that the first prayer is the Our Father prayer. And it's in the first few sentences of that prayer, which goes, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." God has seen it only 4 times to punish the earth for our sins. The first time was before the earth was created, when Lucifer decided and his angels decided they would not bow to the human beings. St. Michael and his troops gathered all of Lucifer and his bunch up, and they was cast into the everlasting fire, which is hell. It's still there. It hasn't gone away, and there ain't no fuel shortage there either. The second time was in the Garden of Eden, when the original parents were told not to eat the fruit of a certain tree, and they did. They were chased out of the Garden of Eden. 2 curses were put on them. And look at the world today and you'll see they're still there. For the woman, she would bear children in pain. Nobody said she'd remember it, but she would bear children in pain. Can you guarantee this? Go along with that? Men would have to work for a living. Anybody know any men that never had to work for a living? You won't find them. This goes on to the next one, which we say at Mass all the time. Those things that we have done and failed to do. That failed to do is a big problem now. We in the Catholic Church, I'm not going to say about any of the other churches, I know in the Catholic Church, they have forgotten to do a lot of different things that should be done. We don't have benediction anymore. Very few churches have the first Saturday Masses in honor of the Holy Mother. It's just, we are getting too much away from God now. As I was saying before, God only found 4 times that he needed to punish the world. One of those times was with Noah, when he destroyed the world with a flood. He always manages to lead people back of a true example of faith. The next time was at Fatima, when he said that he told the Holy Mother then that the First World War would come to an end, and if we didn't straighten out and do his will, there was going to be an even bigger punishment. That was the Second World War, and there's not too many people, I don't think, that can truthfully say the Second World War never happened. Then it was stated that if we didn't straighten out then, there would be an even bigger and worse punishment. God is kind of funny in some cases. He gives us little hints and pictures of what's going to be the future. Well, at the end of the Second World War, he gave us a sneak preview of what can happen to us if we don't straighten out and do his will. That was when we bombed Hiroshima. We've got weapons now that makes that bomb in Hiroshima look like a little firecracker. The thing we have to remember, in this country, we enjoy freedom of religion, which is great, I guess. And I think most of the world has that. In God's world, there is no freedom of religion. It's either his way or the highway. That highway leads directly to hell. But here's the beauty part, and here's the part that really sets God aside from everything. Anywhere along that highway, right up to the very gates of hell, turn around and go back to God, and he will accept you like nothing had ever happened. Like you've never been on that highway. We have always got that freedom. No matter what we're doing, no matter anything, we've always got that freedom to come back to him. Now, I think now is a good time to tell you why I wanted to call this meeting together. I know I told you I've been here getting these little things in my head all along for about a year now. Well, December 31st, early in the morning when I first got up, that was the first time I'd ever heard a voice. I know it wasn't my voice because this is something I've been scared of that might happen, that my voice would tell me something that shouldn't be told to me. This voice was deeper than my voice, but it spoke with such authority that you can't help but believe it. That voice said, "This time next year, you will be in heaven." That's what I've got to look forward to. That's what this is all about. You guys can take it for what you want. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to try to answer them. But that's it. Now you know my secret, Debbie. And it's not bad. It's not that bad, because when you have that kind of an outlook, this is what you've lived your life for. I'm getting off this highway. I'm going over to this little straight and narrow path. Just get on over there. That's all you need to do. Come back to doing the will of God. You'll be surprised what will happen to you.
Most of the stuff he's talking about right now, you'll find it within yourself. Besides 2012, it's been prophesied, it's been embedded in our head for so many years. Something could happen this year, in December. But who's going to stop it? Nobody can stop it. The only thing we got to do right now is look forward for tomorrow, forward for the future, for our family and our loved ones. And we just say, well, we're just going to quit now because it's all going to end.
Here's something I
The whole
neglected
year
to
of
say.
doing nothing is going to be really bad.
Here's something I neglected to say. At Panama, when Mary visited those 3 kids over there, God told her that he wanted to establish a devotion to her, which was the 5 first Saturdays in the reparation for the 5 blasphemies committed against her. The rosary, and just sit there and visit with her 5 or 10 minutes. Now, a lot of people get the idea that this is just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. If God had not meant this as an order, he wouldn't have put the punishments on it that he did. Second World War was a pretty good punishment when you stop and think about it. There's an awful lot of people got killed in that one that probably shouldn't have got killed. It affected, I think, everybody in the world. And when you look at the amount of nuclear weapons over there in Iran and Iraq and those countries over there, nuclear is nothing but pure fire. And what I heard the other day, Iran is trying to join military forces with Iraq. Iraq is one of those wars that all they've done was kill people. Didn't really accomplish a thing.
Well, that society, they did fought amongst themselves for thousands and thousands of years.
Huh?
That part of the region, those people fought among themselves for thousands of years, hundreds of years.
Well,
That's the way they've been brought up to. That's the
well,
only,
this
that's
is the whole thing. That Middle East over there, the only country over there that really is, I guess you could say, fit for democracy is Israel. I don't think the Iraqis can handle the freedoms we have here in this country. I don't think the Egyptians can. I don't think the same, all those other countries. I don't think they can, their population, I don't think can handle the types of freedoms we have in this country. They're jealous because they don't have them, but I don't think they could handle them if they did have them.
probably true.
Yeah. That's why they keep, it seems like all they can think of is come up with somebody to kill. They decided, well, America's got a lot of people.
That's
Let's
been
just start
society
killing them.
through the years. I think. More power, more wealth. It's always been that way.
Well, like I say, they, so many of those people over there, I really don't think are capable of handling the freedoms of a democracy. It tells you gotta live with other people and get along with them. That's my personal opinion of it anyway.
I'm confused. Are you saying you're dying in December or everybody's dying
Huh?
in December? You're saying you're dying in December or we're all going in December?
What?
Are you saying you're not dying in December or all of us? They're saying the world's supposed to end December 21st, 2012.
I know.
But I
Now,
think
wait a minute,
he's
wait a minute,
saying
wait a minute.
he
That
is.
word,
Wait a minute.
when I got that word, that was for me.
Him.
For me only. You people have to do your part.
So you're saying
We're in
dead,
trouble.
but we're not
You
going to
need to
heaven.
do some changing
We're in trouble.
and come back to where you were, what you were raised with. That's all I'm saying. It's me. It's not gonna last past a year. You guys will all still be here. Hopefully.
You
Anyway.
still might be too, though.
Don't sit your
Huh?
back on
You might still be too.
Well,
I know what positive thinking can do for you.
it could,
Negative thing can do for you too, so.
he could decide to change his mind. Tell me you need to stay a little longer,
You haven't got through to him yet.
huh?
That you haven't got through to him yet.
Well,
Keep trying. You might.
from here on, you guys can take it for what it's worth, what I've said.